Good evening, Nigerians. We are here for this World Press Conference by the candidates of the PDP, the People's President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and the true President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Weeping may tarry till night, but joy cometh in the morning. We want to announce to Nigerians, with the verification done, with the reports from our situation room, from the evidence we have gathered, Atiku Abubakar is the true president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I want to announce that the battle to reclaim this stolen mandate is a battle of no retreat, no surrender. It's a battle of no retreat, no surrender. By the special grace of God, justice will prevail, and the true wishes and aspirations of Nigerians will come to pass. Without wasting much of our time, it is my singular honor and privilege to invite a true Democrat, the most matured of all the presidential candidates of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the most preferred of all the presidential candidates of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a true believer in the unity and togetherness of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Jam your hands together as I invite the president in waiting by the grace of the Almighty God, Atiku Abubakar. Yes, just, sir, you are a president, start acting like one. Please sit down, sir.
Please be seated. The chairman of our great party, Your Excellency, Governor Fintiri of Adamawa State, Your Excellencies, members of the National Working Committee, distinguished members of the press. I understand they call you gentlemen of the press, even if they are ladies, they don't refer ladies and gentlemen of the press. I don't know why, but I would like to say ladies and gentlemen of the press. Before I deliver my speech, first of all, let me sincerely apologize for the delay in the start of this event. It's not intentional, but simply because I was held up at home by visiting international delegations of observer teams that have come to observe. I am being asked to sit down. My view is that if I sit down, all these things will block my face. So,
Can you give the president a round of applause?
Thank you very much. So, because of that, I ran late to this very, very important event this evening. And I hope, in spite of that, you will forgive me for running late, and hope we will have a very productive evening this evening. So, fellow Nigerians, it is with a heart full of sadness that I address you today. I have, in the last 3 decades, devoted my life to the battle to birth and deepen democracy in our country. It was a battle that started during the military era. It was a struggle that nearly cost me my life and that of my son, Adamu, who is seated here today in Kaduna, where 8 policemen were killed in their attempt to save our lives. I survived the assassination only by the mercies and grace of God. Following that attack, I was forced into exile. But that attack claimed the precious lives of those policemen in the service of our dear country. That was not all. My businesses were nearly crippled, and my signature business was eventually appropriated by the maximum ruler in power at that time. My commitment to enthroning democracy ensured that I joined forces with other compatriots. As a leader of the defunct Social Democratic Party, together with our current chairman, we fought and won the 1993 presidential election, which was acclaimed as the fairest and freest election in our history. There was no internet then. Mark you, no internet. Yet it was the freest and the fairest election. Sadly, Chivemko Abiola, who embodied that hope for the birth of a new Nigeria, paid the ultimate price, including his wife. Our fight to enthrone democracy continued. Indeed, the motivating factor for the birth of the People's Democratic Party was to force the exit of the military from government and their permanent return to the military barracks. Today, we have succeeded in doing that. Following the exit of the military and the advent of democratic rule in 1999, I did not rest on my oars. I deployed the same level of commitment to advance and deepen our democracy. I did this because our democracy was bought at a huge price of human lives. My mentor and true Nigerian hero, who this venue in which we are gathered this evening is named for, was one of those who paid the ultimate price in that battle. Before my eyes, the military murdered him. So also was Chief Alfred Rewane, Chief MQ Abiola, and his dear wife, Chief Mrs. Kudrat Abiola, and many others. It was also for this reason that I sacrificed my political aspiration and fought against the actualization of the third term. Whether during the military or civilian era, I have, no matter how inconvenient, pitched my tent with the people against dictators. During the military regime, it nearly cost me my life again and the near decimation of my businesses. In the civilian administration, it had serious adverse implications on my political life. But I have remained undaunted because I was and still convinced that the only reason why I am in politics is to work in tandem with other compatriots in the advancement of the well-being of our people. The 2023 presidential election presented our nation and its people the greatest opportunity for a reset. We had everything going for us: a legal framework in the 2022 Electoral Act and the BVAS technology. The enthusiasm of Nigerians to turn out and in large numbers was an added bonus. However, the dreams and aspirations of Nigerians who braved all the challenges to go and cast their votes on Saturday, 25th of February 2023, were shattered by the conduct of the Independent National Electoral Commission, which failed woefully to live up to expectations. The weekend election was neither free nor fair. Preliminary assessments indicate that it is the worst conducted election since the return to democratic rule. The manipulation and fraud that attended this election was unprecedented in the history of our nation. I can still not understand why the electoral umpire was in such a hurry to conclude collation and announcement of the results, given the number of complaints and irregularities of bypassing of the beavers, failure of uploading to the IRVE, and unprecedented cancellations and disfranchisement of millions of voters in breach of the Electoral Act and the Commission's own guidelines. It was indeed a rape of democracy. Having consulted with leaders of our party who are seated here with me, and Nigerians from different walks of life, I have come to the conclusion that the processes and outcome of the presidential and National Assembly elections of last Saturday was grossly flawed in every material particular, and as such must be challenged by all of us. This has been attested to by both local and international observers. Just as I was about to enter this conference hall, the chairman and I read an Austrian report, news report, that a Nigerian drug baron has emerged as the president of Africa's most popular city. I want to believe that this was not the legacy that President Muhammadu Buhari has promised. For President Buhari, it is not too late to make amends for the good of our country and the future generations, and indeed to assure his legacy. This battle to right the wrongs of Saturday is not about me at all. It is not about me. It is about you, and it is about the future of those of you who are seated here and listening to me. It is also a continuation of my battles to deepen democracy and for a better life for our people. It is about the future of Nigerian youths. I know that Nigerians, especially the youth, are traumatized by the developments. But I want to urge them to conduct themselves peacefully. Like I have done over the years, I assure you that I will commit the rest of my life in ensuring that true democracy, which affirms the supremacy of your votes and your will take firm footing and guarantee a stable, prosperous, and peaceful Nigeria. This is more so as Nigeria represents the hope of Africa and the black world. It is my hope that the judiciary will redeem itself this time around and rise to the society's expectation as the last hope of our people. In the end, who wins is not as important as the credibility of our elections and electoral processes. I call on all men and women of goodwill to join hands with us in the vanguard to defend our Constitution from the brigandage of anti-democratic forces. Finally, I urge Nigerians to remain vigilant and resolute. You have the constitutionally guaranteed right of freedom to choose your leaders. We will not, and I repeat, we will not sit idly by and watch your rights taken from you. Your voices will be heard. May God bless you, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
A round of applause for our president.
Thank you very much. That was a brilliant, intellectually mobile, administratively sagacious presentation by the true president of the people. He deserves another round of applause. Very, very presidential indeed. His voice was not shaking. His presentation was stable. He deserves another round of applause. Thank you very much. We appreciate the presence of the former Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Architect Namadi Sambo. We also have the performing governor of Akwa Ibom, who is here, Governor Udom Emmanuel. The project manager and ATM governor of Adamawa State, Amadou Fentiri. We have recognized already the irremovable national chairman of our party, Yocha Ayu, the national secretary, the former president of the Nigerian Senate and the two-time governor of Kwara State, Senator Dr. Bukola Saraki, the former national chairman of our party, Prince Secondus. We have the deputy national chairman, north of our party, Ambassador Damagun. We also appreciate the former governor of Enugu State and our national chairman, Uwondo. We thank you. Without wasting much of our time, because of time, we are going to give opportunity to just 3 questions quickly, if there are. Paul. So we inviting Enoch, from African Report. Eniola, sorry. Please, straight, you can come here. Your name and your question.
Good evening, Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. I have 2 questions, sir. I want to know, are you stating categorically that you are going to court to go and challenge this? That's one. Secondly, Governor Keridolu said Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had set up a reconciliation committee to reach out to you and Peter Obi and others. We were told that some of the governors tried to see you today and then you turned them back. I just want to find out if that is true. So those are my 2 questions. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, please.
Sorry.
Can you repeat them?
You need to repeat the question.
So 2 questions again. First of all, I wanted to know if you are saying you are going to court, challenge the result. And let me even add this. Are you challenging the entire conduct of the election or just certain states? If it's just certain states, we would like to know the ones that you have problems with. And then thirdly, Governor Keridolu said today that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had set up a reconciliation committee to reach out to you and Governor Peter Obi of Labour Party. We were told that some of the governors tried to see you today and you turned them back. Just want to find out if that is true or if it's fake news. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let me respond to the second question, Tinubu's overtures. I'm really not aware. And I was at home throughout today, so I'm not aware if any governor tried to see me. On the issue of court, of course, our lawyers are studying the results, of the election, and we await for their advice. So whatever they advise, then the party will meet, and then we decide the next line of action. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, you. Leon from Tribune. You can speak. You can speak from there. Give him the mic, please.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir, the performance of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, would appear to confirm earlier permutation that he would draw votes from you. Looking at the outcome of the election with the benefit of hindsight, do you regret the fact that you could not work together under a single platform? And secondly, I'm also wondering about your thoughts on the perception that the PDP seems to be in trouble today because of your insistence on contesting election at a time there was the clamor for a southern presidential candidate. What do you have to say, sir? Thank you.
We're taking the very last question. Yes.
Thank you. Your Excellency, sir, my name is Tony Aileme. I write for Business Day newspaper. Over the years, we have known how you had used the judiciary to change the course of so many issues across the country. But right now, Nigerians are wondering that the current judiciary that we have, there are issues around credibility. I don't know if you also believe that pursuing this cause, you are likely to get justice from the system as it is right now. Or do you have any doubt? Are there issues that you want to consider around the judiciary, sir? Thank you.
Thank you. That's the end of the question series. Now we will call on the presidential candidate to respond accordingly. Thank you.
Well, first and foremost, about the Labour Party, whether at the time Peter decided to leave PDP and join Labour Party, we had not, I believe, begun our primary process. So the question of whether he was going to get a ticket or not, did not arise. Yes, agreed, that is a fact. He took our votes from the southeast and south-south. And that, of course, would not make him a president. Absolutely not. You all know that to be a president in this country, you need votes from everywhere. So as far as I'm concerned, Peter is welcome to dialogue with PDP. We are ready to dialogue with him. So I don't think we will have any problem if he wants to dialogue with PDP and either form an alliance or not. But I also want you to recall that I was the first candidate to say that because of the way Nigeria has been governed in the last 7 to 8 years, there has been deep divisions between North and South, East and West. And I said to Nigerians, if I happen to be elected president, the first thing I will do is to form a government of national unity. What do I mean by that? I mean, I will look at the performance of each political party and bring them into the government so that first and foremost, we reunify this country and bring about peace and stability. It is only when you do that, then you will be able to start developing the country, whether economically or otherwise. You cannot develop a country that is deeply divided, that is in crisis. So I was the first to commit to the formation of government of national unity. And I also have it on record that when I ran in 2019, I picked an Igbo man as a running mate, simply because I felt that after any other zone again, the next zone must be the Southeast. In 2011, I also picked another Igbo man. And in 2023, I also picked another Igbo man. And I have always said that I will be a stepping stone to an Igbo presidency. Because there is no zone alone in this country that can produce a president on its own. I have always told my Igbo compatriots, I said, look, you negotiate for power. You don't fight for it. You negotiate for it. So, for anybody to think, that I have anything against labor, I think Peter was in a rush. Do you know why I say he was in a rush? When the campaign started, and our PDP governors sat down and said they must produce the president amongst them. They must produce a vice president amongst them. They must produce a chief of staff amongst them. Peter got scared and left. I did not get scared. I stood up against the governors. When we formed this PDP, some of them perhaps were in secondary school or university. So why should I be afraid? So I stood up and I fought them. They fought me, yes, and I fought them. And I won the primaries. So if he was there, nothing could have stopped him from becoming, a running mate. Because I had the right to choose whoever I wanted, as my running mate. So the question of whether I will work with Peter or not, whether Peter wounded PDP, yes, to some extent he did, because all the votes he carried, there are PDP votes in the South, and the Southeast. So that's true. But that's politics anyway. But whether, he will achieve his objective, by that or not, that is left to God to decide. So the next is the issue of judiciary. For those of you who don't read, because I know you young people now is only computer, on the phone, everything you need. You don't read textbooks. You must remember that I took my boss, a sitting president, to court 11 times. 11 times from trial court up to Supreme Court. I swear, if there is a Quran here, I swear I never saw any judge from the trial court up to the Supreme Court. And yet, And yet I got judgments against a sitting president. Do you think it is possible today to do it? But let us tell ourselves the truth, manner. "11 times from trial court up to Supreme Court. Wallahi, I never saw a single judge. I got judgment at the trial court, I got judgment at the appeal court, and I got judgment at the Supreme Court. That's why I said, how will I do this? That's why I decided to publish a book called Landmark Constitutional Cases, the Atiku Abubakar cases, for those constitutional law students. So, I cannot say whether it is the same judiciary or not until I test them. Yeah. So I hope I have answered all your questions. Dino has already overruled me. He said one more question. Is that true?
Yes, sir. They're directed for 2 more questions because you're a Democrat and you want to make sure everything is exhausted. So I've been directed to take 2 more questions for you, if any. If he has addressed what you want to ask, there's no need, please. Okay.
Just one, last one.
Yes. Okay, this one will be the last one indeed.
A very good evening, Your Excellency. All protocols duly observed. My name is Atiku Tokuranuke from Silverbird News 24. You spoke about the judiciary, comparing it as before. So what if you seek redress and at the end of the day you're not given fair judgment? What next would you do?
Like I said, that's the last question. Your Excellency, sir.
Well, what can I do if I don't get a favorable judgment at the apex court? I appeal to God.
That's a good one. PDP! Power to the people. To this great phenomenon, great Democrat, Nigeria, please a round of applause for the people's president. The president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. While we're doing this national anthem, please, as we bring this to a close.